Welcome back to Streamline Entertainment. It's Marvin speaking, more on the Amy Bradley case. And obviously, the picture of Jazz, which is a topic of conversation where many people have said they don't think it is, but obviously, the police have said, FBI have basically turned around and said that they believe it's a match. It's something which they highly thought Jazz could have been basically Amy on this adult website. Let's get straight into this. This is from uh, Themoto. Let's get straight into this. The Moto. He's called, sorry. Let's get straight into this.
People who believe Amy Bradley fell off the side. Just watch this video. I found this video in the background here on Reddit just a few minutes ago, so I had to put this together for all of those people who think that she fell off. One person said, "Oh, she wouldn't have left the hotel room without her cigarettes if she was leaving." Who knows? There's so many variables, right? She could have just ran downstairs to grab a package or get a little something and run back up. Thought she was going to be gone 2 minutes. She has 5 minutes. She doesn't need to smoke a cigarette. I've seen people run around cruise ships with no shoes on, no sneakers on, 1,000 times. Maybe she left her shoes in the hotel room. I don't know. I don't even know if she did leave her shoes. But my point is, look at this video. Someone overlaid a picture of Amy with the picture of Jazz, and it's a perfect match. There's no debate. It's over. The conversation's done. She didn't fall over the edge of the boat. That combined with the forensic identification saying that's very, very, very likely her, because you can never say for sure on something like this, but it's very likely that it's her. And now this video, come on, guys, stop saying she fell off the side of the boat, because there's no chance she did.
I think there's a high percentage she didn't fall off that boat, to be honest with you. Nothing's 100% concrete because we don't know, because her body was never found and she's not been found as yet. I just want to go into the chat. So someone says, Megan says, if it's not her, this has been shared enough. That woman in the picture would come forward. Yeah, definitely. I'm sure. This is why a lot of people, I think it's Amy, because like I said, I'm sure that someone would have said, look, this is definitely not her. This is somebody else at the end of the day. But it's bizarre that this person has never come forward. Diamond Girl said she didn't come forward because it's Amy. Otherwise, the woman would have come forward. Otherwise, the woman would have come forward. It wasn't Amy. Yeah, definitely. Maybe she's deceased, ashamed of her past. That's a possibility as well. And that's crossed my mind. Don't forget, especially over the sightings of sort of, and not so much over the last 5 to 10 years. Don't forget, this is how she looked at 30 years. It's possibly at 50 years, she looked different again. Yeah, definitely. So obviously that Amy Vodo would have been obviously 7, 8 years on, where she is going to look older. And obviously her face maybe enlarges and slightens and changes a little bit, That's a really good point, Messier. The fact the forensic measured things like distance with her ear, etc., things that do not change over time. A widow's peak, just to name a few. What really convinced me was at the end of the Netflix documentary, they showed how IT is able to track who is looking at their site, which shows her family and updates. It's also around birthdays and holidays, and it always over in that same area of the world. Her family would be in danger if she were to reach out, kidnap her. Yeah, I agree. And once again, maybe she's in an organization where she can get out of, and it is said that she may have children. That's a massive possibility. She's trying to protect them and protect her family and try to live her life the best she can. Mara says, so sad she was marked. The guy she was marked by the guy in the band, sold. Yeah, I agree. There's a massive possibility that even if he didn't have anything to do with it, Yellow, I think he knows what happened. She wasn't the photos. She wasn't in the photos edited. I'm not too sure, to be honest with you, but I don't think it was edited. And like I said, the FBI did look into it, and I tend to go along with this guy. I think there's a high possibility it is her. Go look at the other photos of this woman and different angles. It's definitely not her. I just want to look at the comments on this. How would you look like after 7 years of SW Rugs being beaten often? Good question. You know, that's a good question. You people need to realize that SW is those areas live in unbelievable conditions with violence rugs for hook them on rugs so they stay silent and numb. Very, very true. The voters were first online in 2002, so 4 years, not 7. Yeah, but it's still, you still can change a lot over that time due to what that person talked about being on rugs and being in that lifestyle and fed them. Those also look like her lol. I keep saying this comments. I've seen all the pictures and they all have strong resemblance of Amy in her photos. 4 years on, people. Let me know what you think of basically what the TikToker said, because I think it makes sense. I just don't think she went over the boat. I really don't think she, you know, she sorry went overboard, should I say. This is from Candy Paint Mama, people, and she talks about Amy's tattoos. Let's get straight into this. Because obviously what we've got
But
so much
apparently
information
5 days
going around.
ago, there was some type of like a new tip concerning the 27-year-old Amy Bradley case. And I am not even playing with you. Vanished from a Royal Caribbean cruise back in 1998. And her case has haunted the public for like 27 years. Okay. The man claimed that in 2016 that he rented her from that adult site that she was on, or the Jazz picture was on, you guys. Her brother Brad revealed this in an interview with the Tab 5 days ago. Okay, so this is like sourced and everything. This dude knew details about tattoos that were not presented to the public. So like this might be it, you guys. Now the family is trying desperately to get in touch with the man, and the FBI is following up on the claims. This tip came right after the Netflix documentary, which apparently has produced hundreds of leads. It doesn't prove that she's alive, okay? So everybody calm down, all right? Don't start coming at me in the comments. But what this does say is that this is the most disturbing and like believable type tip to come forward in over 10 years.
Interesting stuff, really interesting stuff, like I said. But why hasn't this guy come forward if this is a new lead? And it just makes you think, I mean, is he scared? He doesn't want to get, some people don't want to get mixed up in a case which could have some kind of comeback on it at the end of the day. So I mean, that organization, there's very, very violent people who hold these women at the end of the day and don't want things exposed. So that's a possibility why he hasn't come forward, due to fear. Aura says she doesn't want to be found, and that could be very, very true. At this point, I don't think she does. Like it or not, she probably has people she loves there now and won't risk that. That's a possibility. And like I said, kids, if she doesn't want to come home, she's for sure needs to reach out and send a letter or something to her family their way. But like I said, you don't know mentally what condition is she in. To be honest with you, just don't know. She obviously still got some memory of her family, but if she's still alive, but 27 years is a long time, people. Not if she's in the Scientology. My theory is yes, she's got sex traffics, but she might have escaped and could have been scared, so she just went to the Scientology as her last option. She just but can't. Yeah, that's a possibility. What interview did Brad bring this up on, and how? It's on the tab, something about Brad saying it. Let me just look at the comment on that. 2016, the tab, people. She went overboard, says someone else. I don't think she did, my personal opinion, but there are 28 replies on that. Doesn't make sense, as the owner of the site admitted they stole the pictures and Jazz wasn't one of their escorts, but he could be lying. Let me just look at the comments there. Which is strange, because I went on the web archive back in 2003. Jazz had her own email, like other main escorts. I'm sure if the people were paying monies to so get the girls, they can't lie about that photo. Definitely not. Interesting stuff, people. Great messages. I'm going to move on to part 3. We move on to another lady, Christine, who talks about a older lady who possibly could be Amy Bradley. Let's get straight into this.
Does this look like Amy Bradley now that she's 50? Because this is my age progression photo that I made of her. Now that we have technology and AI that can do that, I don't know why they were showing the same age progression photo from the early 2000s on that documentary. And then I Googled, I couldn't find any updated age progression photo. I feel like this is who we need to be looking for. That's who I'm going to be looking for when I go to Barbados and search every inch of that island and confront the cruise director, because it was giving sus. It was like, I don't like your attitude.
He didn't give a toss. He was just thinking about money and also the passengers having the best experiences. But obviously the family was suffering on there because he was very, very unhelpful for a long period of time. And like I said, don't forget the Bradleys had to get back on the boat at a certain time when the FBI were going to be there. So it just tells you that there was something very, very suspicious, because I wouldn't have left the boat believing that she could have been on there or held captive and then moved off once the family were off that boat, due to an investigation they were waiting for to find out where she was. So Erin Brooks says in the chat, did you all see her brother's account? Let me just read some of the replies on this, people. What do you mean, says someone, Danny? My brother has a Twitter account and he is saying all the stuff that was not included on the Netflix documentary. His name is Bradley. That's correct. Read the brother's TikTok page. I definitely think she was trafficked, brainwashed. And if she's still alive, they're making her work. Yeah, and once again, if she's got children or she's actually dating someone, seeing someone, and she's still got minders, or they've threatened her with death if anything comes, to kill her, then she's going to keep quiet, because, like I said, 27 years of control is unbelievable. The age progression photo reminds me so much of the Melissa Etheridge. I don't know Melissa Etheridge. If someone could tell me who she is, please. I feel like she's too old to be being trafficked now, like she's a grandma age. Amy Bradley is dead. She fell overboard. Life isn't a movie. I don't know. I don't think she did. Just don't think she did. And why would all the people lie in seeing her? And some of these people were professional. That never made sense to me. The Cleveland kidnapper held the woman for over 11 years. The girl in the basement was held captive by her own father for 24 years. There's no harm in people discussing the possibility that Amy could still be alive. Very true. Someone commented on a video about her saying they live in Barbados and have seen her for years, and she died last year. Wow. I remember hearing that, to be honest with you. Did they say how she died? No, they just said she passed away in a hammock. If she was trafficked, she's likely not alive at this age. I agree. That is a massive possibility, because, like I said, she hasn't really sort of come out and said anything. Someone says, I still think she's alive. I don't think she has Stockholm syndrome. I believe she has children and stays to protect them. I definitely believe she's very aware of what's happening. That's a big possibility too. Brad didn't age at all, so it's likely she didn't either because of her good genes. I think she'd be fit as well. She was athletic. Yes, once again, if she's still alive. Michaela says, you can't tell me no one in Barbados hasn't seen this woman. Yeah, definitely. She would be recognised and people would come forward. Let's just hope the family gets some more information. Thank you, people. Take care. Look after yourself. Bye.